Darley Newman, and I'm here in South Korea exploring culture through the food, including at a temple stay to try temple food. And I'm not just at any temple. I'm at a very special temple made famous by Chef's Table on Netflix and Jean Kwan, and exploring beautiful beaches here in Busan and some good seafood too. We're traveling to small villages to drink with Korean grandmasters. And trying some really great local cuisine at the markets in Seoul. 감사합니다. Welcome to Travels with Darley. South Korea is a country of fascinating diversity, and this variety extends to its culinary offerings. We're diving into Korea through the lens of food, from cities to temples. We'll taste our way through Seoul, trying everything from street food to Michelin star seafood, enjoying cafe culture and nightlife, before heading to the remote southwest to visit a Buddhist temple, where the venerable Jean Kwan has reached international audiences with temple food. We'll end in the southeastern part of the country, hitting the beach in Busan, where traditional noodle dishes mix with the catch of the day. In Seoul, our first pick for cuisine may surprise you. We are heading inside one of the world's tallest buildings to go to Latte World Mall. And inside this mega complex, there's a concert hall, there are luxury apartments, there are offices, and we're gonna see what there is to eat. Korea is really well known for its meat, its Korean barbecue. I'm about to try something a little different here at Forest Kitchen. We're doing some vegan dining. I sit down with Juno Moon to dine at Forest Kitchen. I think about South Korea and I think about meat, and more meat.
Yeah, I agree with that. We are plant-based vegan dining restaurant. It's the first vegan dining restaurant in South Korea.
Is vegan cuisine gaining popularity here in South Korea?
It's very recent. People starting to get interest on the vegan food.
Share with me what we have here. We've got some vegetable juice to start.
This is the green vegetable juice made of fresh kale, parsley, cucumber, apple, and ginger. Just bottoms up, like
Bottoms up like. Ooh, that's delicious.
The name of this dish is paprika. Basically, it's a Spanish-style finger food, smoked biscuit.
And beautiful flowers.
And beautiful flowers.
The smokiness, the crunch of the charred bread on the bottom. It's really a nice combination. Be prepared for multiple courses here, up to 11 at dinner, with dishes reminiscent of a peaceful forest.
Dessert is Korean pear sorbet, vegan crumble on the bottom, Korean pear compote, chickpea meringue on the top.
Very inventive. It's amazing what can be done with different ingredients. Melts in your mouth.
This is your first experience of Korean pear?
Yeah, and my first time having vegan food in Seoul.
Yeah, that's true.
From vegan to something I came to Seoul specifically to enjoy, and you should too, Korean barbecue. I do like the atmosphere in here. Roaring fire here, we've got the charcoals here.
We'll start with tenderloin.
At Dosan Huekwan, Jacob Lee shares why Korean barbecue is so popular.
That will be the tenderloin.
I can smell it. It smells fantastic.
Yes.
Why do you think Koreans like to eat meat so much?
Korea experienced a hard times 50, 60 years ago because of the Korean War, but now the country has now developed a lot. Parents who has experienced those hard times try to feed their children lots of meat that they haven't had before when they were young. So I think that kind of led to kind of this kind of meat eating culture. Now the country has developed a lot, so you've got good quality meats, so
It melts in your mouth and it's
really tender.
Tender on the inside, the
Yes.
outside nicely charred.
Yes.
Kudos to the chef.
Thank you.
That's worth coming to Seoul for.
Thank you.
In Seoul, experiencing the nightlife gives a greater window into the culture here.
I think Korea is the quintessential work hard, play hard mentality.
Popular YouTube creator Paul Hirschberger of Taste Seoul Good is taking me around Shinsa.
Food, drinks, singing, anything you could ever want. Yeah.
Singing? So it's my karaoke scene here.
It is, but exactly. So Nore means song and Bang means room. What's cool about it is that it's actually like a private room. So you don't have to worry about a ton of strangers listening to your terrible singing.
Make it a duet, please. We'll spare you the rest of my singing. Exploring local markets is one of the best ways to try diverse and authentic cuisine on your travels. Mari Cho is leading me through a market where locals actually shop.
So is this area known for food, or is there just food everywhere because people love to eat in Seoul?
We do love our food, but it is actually known for the local eateries and the foods. We're going to the traditional market, Mangwon Sijang, and you'll see that a lot of the sellers here are actually young. They get their produce and ingredients from the older sellers, and they make their food for the food stalls on the spot.
Our walk to the market alone is a fascinating dive into food. And inside the covered market, there's so much to try.
It's called ton, or pancakes, tofu, vegetables.
Chicken 5 ways is one of the most popular market items.
I know.
Box of chicken.
This is one of those sellers that are very young entrepreneurs.
And Mari's favorite.
So this is a traditional fried pepper.
Yes.
They look really nicely golden fried.
Yes.
So just dip it in here?
Yep, dip it in, take a big bite. It'll be hot and juicy. The fry itself is just so crisp and just right.
This might be the best thing I had in the market.
Oh my gosh.
But that was before we got to dessert.
It's marshmallow ice cream.
Yes, a cube of ice cream, and it's covered in marshmallow, and they will torch it for you.
Yes. It's like a s'more.
I know.
It's a s'more meets
Korea.
Okay, let's eat it.
Yeah.
This is a great market. Come hungry and be ready to try a lot of diverse things.
Definitely.
Next, I'm stepping into a golden-hued shop, serving up traditional pastry called yakwa. My translator and guide, Aram Ro, is helping to introduce us to yakwa at the Golden Piece.
When do people eat yakwa today?
There's a national holiday in Korea called Chuseok. It's basically the American equivalent of Thanksgiving.
You can taste the honey and the sweetness.
The main ingredients are sesame seed oil, rice, honey, and they're all deep fried in good quality oil.
What is the history of yakwa?
There was a period when meat was kind of prohibited. As a substitute, they made these yakwa with the ingredients that they had. And at the time, honey was an ingredient that was very rare and precious, and that's why they called it yak, which roughly translates to medicine.
Now that I know that these have such a long history and the yakwa is made with these ingredients that are precious, it makes them taste even better. I think I'm gonna have another.
It does.
If you're traveling to Seoul, you're bound to notice lots of coffee shops and cafes. Joe McPherson, who owns a local tour company, Zen Kimchi, is taking me for coffee to understand more about coffee and cafe culture in Seoul.
We're here at Ferris Cafe, right across from Railroad Park, which reminds me a little bit of the High Line in New York. Lots of cafes in this area. Why are there so many?
Well, a lot of us live in very tiny apartments. We don't really have our friends come visit us. We have to go meet them somewhere. So it's either a cafe or a bar.
And I think about tea as being big, but coffee is huge now in Korea.
Modern version of the coffee comes around the turn of the millennium, right after the Asian financial crisis. And coffee was a way of seeming like you're international, cosmopolitan, without breaking the bank. It had coincided with some other popular shows based in New York, and people wanted that brunch cafe coffee atmosphere. And it's another way for young people to meet up without having to go to a bar.
We're in this garden-themed cafe, but there are lots of different themed cafes here in Seoul.
That's the way you have to differentiate yourself in this market with so much competition.
So coffee culture is big. You can cafe hop in all these different neighborhoods.
You could just go on a giant dessert crawl, and it's so much fun.
From street food to Michelin star dining, I'm visiting Mosu Seoul. Chef Sung An was born in Seoul and moved to California as a child, where he worked in his parents' restaurant, going on to serve in the U.S. Army in Iraq, an apprentice at acclaimed restaurants like the French Laundry. He moved back to Seoul to be closer to family and run Mosu Seoul, which has earned a coveted 3 Michelin stars.
Korea has a lot of beautiful traditional restaurants, but our goal is not to be traditional. Our goal is to think outside the box. This is one of our signature dish in Mosu Seoul, abalone taco.
Abalone taco?
Yeah.
Okay.
Abalone is one of the most important ingredients in Korean cuisine. Even though it's taco, the flavor profile and the mixture of the flavor, I think is pretty straightforward Korean.
It's really good.
Thank you.
I love the taste of the charcoal. This abalone is very tender. What inspired the design for this space?
When I was in U.S. Army, a long time ago, I had a friend. When he invited me into Thanksgiving dinner at his house somewhere in West Virginia, I tried to kind of soak in as much as possible, and I see like a red bricks, the fire, woods, and warmth, you know, the genuine like, love just in the air, you know. And I kind of forgot about it. You know, life goes on. And then when I thought about opening a restaurant here, that was my inspiration of the Thanksgiving dinner in West Virginia.
Who knew I would travel to Seoul to go to West Virginia?
Just by looking at it, this is a plain rice. But when you actually have it, your world would turn upside down.
Ooh, I like it.
Made with 3 different types of rice and also cooked in popcorn broth.
It smells like popcorn. It's like a buttery popcorn with a rice consistency and the different rice kernels. That's good.
Hanu beef. Hanu is one of the best beef you can find. It's like a crossbreed between Wagyu and Angus.
It's just a really nice combination of the popcorn buttery crunch with the really savory but tender meat. Thank you for taking the time to spend with us.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
I'm wrapping up my time in Seoul by the Han River with Aram for some casual convenience store ramen.
Many people might recognize the Han River for K-dramas, for breakups, makeups. Should we break up? Should we stay together?
The Han River Park itself is kind of an area where a lot of people congregate, but a lot of couples come here as well to just chill by the river. Ramyeon is one of those foods or snacks in Korea that once one Korean person smells it from afar, then everyone starts buying it, and that's what's happening here.
I would call this ramen.
Ramen is more of a Japanese pronunciation. In Korea, it's more ramyeon. So think of it with a Y in between the M and the E-O-N.
Well, we've got our ramyeon from a convenience store.
Yeah. And one thing they do in Korea as well when you eat any type of noodle is you slurp. Firstly, if you do it in a restaurant, it's compliments to the chef.
So we need to slurp.
You have to do the slurp, otherwise you can't enjoy it.
Has a little kick to it.
You can have this 5 times a day and still taste good the 5th time.
Inexpensive and tasty. I'm a bit surprised when my guide, Aram, suggests lunch at a Korean rest stop.
We've been driving just under 2.5 hours now, and we're at one of these, what's it known in Korean as 휴게소, basically a rest stop for grilled food and skewers as well. My personal favorite is the baked potatoes, called 통감자 in Korean.
That's really good. The salt is so good. This would be really good hangover food.
Just a sprinkle of salt before it gets served. We have what's known as tornado potato, as you say, which is basically a long strip of potato, deep fried.
It's a giant curly fry.
You can find these on the streets, not just in these rest stop areas. And then you have hotdog, where you can see the sausage, and then the duck, which is the white rice cakes. How is it?
It's good.
And another staple food of these highway rest stops is 호두과자, or walnut cakes.
Red bean.
Yes, exactly. Well done. Red bean paste and little pieces of walnut with a softer, cakey exterior.
I like it.
Yeah? And so do I.
It's a nice finishing dessert item.
Right.
So the rest of this car ride might be nap time for me. I'm landing in the remote southern part of South Korea, several hours from Seoul at Baekhyangsa Temple, whose location is in a stunning national park.
I've arrived for my temple stay experience here in South Korea. There are hundreds of temples located throughout South Korea, and travelers can actually stay at a large number of them. So here's where I'm staying for this temple stay experience. I have my basic linens here, a small towel, basic uniform, and I'll put on. Let's check out the room. Pretty simple, pretty sparse, but really awesome view. This is my first meal here at the temple, and it is vegetarian. And when you're here at a temple stay, part of the etiquette is taking only what you're gonna eat. So whatever you put on your plate, you're gonna wanna finish because it's good temple etiquette.
You can get immersed in daily life at temples like this. I dive into participating in chanting and meditation and get to learn about Buddhism and life here from the head monk over tea.
What are some of the customs that are important here at this temple?
My translator, Aram, is on hand to help translate.
He was relaying that in the temple, there's no long list of rules and regulations, but being quiet is good etiquette when you're here.
Aram shares more of what the head monk hopes to relay through this ritual.
We hope that through this chadam that we've had today, that we could show the world the message of Buddha of treating others as we would like to be treated ourselves, and that we are all equal, and that we should all look after each other.
It is a message that we will try to spread because it is so very important.
감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Day 1 is complete, and now it's time to sleep.
It's early morning in the mountains, the birds are singing, this view is stunning, and I actually slept pretty well last night. It was a little chilly starting out, but I bundled up, cozied down, and yeah, ready to start the day.
I'm starting my day with a cooking lesson with the Venerable Jung Kwan.
반갑습니다.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It was really great to try your food in New York City and now be able to come here to Korea to try it at the location where it's going to be even better. I met Jung Kwan at an event in New York City and told her then and there that I wanted to visit her in Korea. And here we are.
오, 예. 아, 나이스. 오.
My translator Aram is here to help translate.
Crushed and then molded into the shape. And this process in itself is a type of meditation where we find inner peace.
All of these ingredients are grown on site or sourced locally. Jung Kwan teaches us that food can be a channel for communication and energy. What we eat should have a greater purpose than just nourishing and satisfying us.
Hugo mushrooms are my signature dishes.
You'll find these mushrooms, which we may know best as shiitake mushrooms, included in many temple dishes. It was the savory richness of this simple mushroom dish that reassured Jung Kwan's father that she would be okay living at a temple after she left home at the age of 17. With these mushrooms in particular, it sounds like this is such a powerful tool, not only because it's so savory, but because of the meaning behind it for you, and that you can then relay by making it for others. Outside, I appreciate food that tastes light yet rich, savory yet simple, as we eat in silence, mindful of all the work that went into growing, fermenting, preparing, and now ingesting this gracious meal. We're traveling to Korea's southern coast to visit South Korea's largest port city, Busan, where I'm starting out at its most famous beach.
It's kind of wild that I'm here on the beach in South Korea. This is a city that reminds me a little bit of Miami and Hong Kong mixed together because we have these modern skyscrapers right along the beach, and then we head over different bridges to get to different parts of the city, which is really a huge port city here in South Korea.
Being such an active port city, it's not surprising that Busan is well known for its seafood. Just across the street from the beach, I'm visiting one of Busan's fast casual chains to try some of South Korea's most popular on-the-go meals.
In a lot of restaurants in Korea, you just go and pick what you want, order from a kiosk, get your ticket, and it comes right out. I'm trying this kimbap. This is kind of like a big sushi roll is the way I'm thinking about it. This has that salty seaweed on the outside. The rice is a little bit sweet. We've got soft egg. We've got the crunch of vegetables. Really nice combination.
It always helps to enlist a local when you're traveling to a new location. And I'm excited to meet up once again with Alicia Park, who helped guide me during the filming of my last Korea episode on Jeju Island. Alicia's family hails from Busan, and she's taking me a little off the beaten path to visit a themed cafe and give further insight into culture in Busan.
There's a lot of industry happening in Busan and a lot of ships coming in and out, but a lot of people come here to also vacation.
Yeah, of course. Busan is dynamic city. You can enjoy sports, ocean activities, surfing, and yacht sailing.
A lot of people also come here to eat seafood.
Yes, seafood, fresh seafood you can eat.
And apparently Parisian croissants.
Just downstairs at Bread Meat Paris, we're seeing why pastries are so popular in Korea, including French pastries.
I'm feeling like we're in Paris and we're in Busan.
Oh, definitely. Korean loves French food, French style croissant, and French dining. Oh, sounds crispy.
Crispy, buttery, salty. This is a really good croissant.
Cheers. Oh.
Alicia is taking me to try one of the dishes for which Busan is most well known.
This is Newman.
And this would be a typical dish here in Busan with these cold noodles.
Yes. Yeah. The ingredients are onions, and so you will feel like spicy but sweet. Spicy for you?
No, it's not that spicy at all. I love the cold texture of the noodles with the cool broth.
It feels like something addictive.
A lot of people say they get addicted to spicy things, so I can see how you could say that this would be addictive. It's very good.
Like nothing I've ever tried before.
I love chagalchi. Yeah.
If you're visiting Busan, this market is another must-visit destination.
Okay, so here we are at the Chagalchi Seafood Market. This is the biggest seafood market here in Korea. And there is also another indoor area that we'll be moving on to, where you pick your fish and the product that you like, and then they serve it as a dish for you upstairs.
Hi.
안녕하세요. You can see all the wide range of fresh fish in their tanks. We've chosen our fish, and Manga has taken it to the chopping board to prepare our lunch.
I'm going for the abalone.
You're going for the abalone?
Yeah.
They're very fresh. You can taste the ocean.
This is really what I would think of as farm to table, but ocean to table.
Right.
And a lot of families and groups enjoying food together,
Right.
which is what life is all about.
You know you're somewhere special when you're meeting a grand master. Yu Chung-gil is the 15th generation of his family to make makgeolli, Korea's traditional folk wine. And here in the hillsides above Busan, I'm visiting the only brewery that uses a special traditional method of making makgeolli.
Right now, they're actually kneading this yeast with their feet, getting it shaped into this pizza dough shape before it goes into the fermentation room.
해보실랍니까?
Yes. He's saying that this is a lot harder than it looks, so I'm gonna try it. Gotta take on this challenge. I don't know how they don't get dizzy doing this. I'm like getting really dizzy. So now I'm stepping to get rid of the wrinkles and imperfections. We're trying to get all of the air out of this, apparently.
Good.
Oh, okay.
And flip over.
Okay. Well, she just said that usually when people do this for the first time, they stomp so hard they tear it apart. Woo! As pretty as a pizza.
Great job for the first time.
Oh, thank you for your expert instruction. 감사합니다. Thank you.
Thank you. 감사합니다.
In the fermentation room, bacteria and mold grow on the surface of what looks like a pizza crust over a period of 5 to 7 days.
This special process they've been doing, 500 years old, and it still exists today. So very special that his family is carrying on this long, long tradition.
The entire total process from start to finish to make makgeolli takes about 45 days. Outside, we sit down so I can have my first taste of this milky-looking rice wine.
I'm excited to be trying this with a grand master. You need to have at least 3 generations of your family or of your establishment that have been making something to get that status. So it's a really high echelon of grand master that we're gonna drink this with. Tastes a lot like apple cider to me, like a most sour version of apple cider. It's really smooth.
One shot. One shot. Yeah, one shot.
Okay.
Kaboom.
Come back. I'm not playing drinking games with you anymore.
With deep roots and deep heart, this trip to South Korea has left me even more mesmerized by the dizzying array of cuisine in South Korea, a place where food is a source of pride and pleasure, bringing people together not just to nourish the body, but the soul. I've enjoyed taking the time to savor dishes here, from mindful eating to roadside comfort food. But most of all, I'll leave Korea hungry to learn and experience more.
I'm Darley Newman, and thanks so much for joining me.
1, 2, 3.
Up. Oh. I don't know if I can keep up with you.
자.
Oh, wow, that's some mold on there.
Actually, along this, can you see over there with
We like all different kinds of local delicacies. Wow!
A little morning steam bath.
High five.
Woo!